no time left. Do it.
I have no time to fix it, Dennis. Okay, I'm seeing moving bars. We have audio. I should not have. Perfect. Okay, welcome everybody. This is Flipping Out with Friends. This is Wednesday night. Jared, this is your first. Well, technically, we've done like you and me flipping out with friends.
Is that technically? No. Okay, so I've not ever been a part of the official Flipping Out with Friends, which normally means that I get a week off. But I was prodded and forced to be here to be involved with this. So here we go.
Well, tonight I'm letting Jared hang out with my friends. So it's just more than us. Okay. It's just more than us. There's 4 of us tonight on the chat. No weeks off for you. Yeah. We had last week off. Oh, I gotta pull up that picture. That's Jared did something on vacation that I never thought he'd do, and it brings me so much joy. But Jared made a joke about wanting
white linen pants. We're on a beach. We're gonna wear some white linen pants.
And my mom bought him white linen pants, and full on white cotton pants with sandals on the beach.
I think I rock those things. And you see my beautiful, attractive hot wife there. So.
What'd you wear under them?
Underwear.
Well, no, but I thought they would show through or something. They're
Amy had it all figured out.
Thank God for that.
It's a jock strap. That's
so
why
here's
I'm just
the deal.
envisioning.
I still look better from the waist down than Mr. Travis. So
that's a low hurdle.
I win.
All right.
Do you have better calves than Travis?
Guaranteed. Yes.
Most do. Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Most do.
Okay. So, anyways, if you're here, if this is your first time, welcome. Jared and I, we try to stream every Wednesday night. Tonight we're doing a chatting stream, so we have 2 other amazing guests. We've got my fellow Triple Drain co-host, Mr. Tom Graft, beautiful man.
Hello, everybody.
Easily top 3 sexiest men in Triple Drain. Probably top 2, actually guaranteed top 2.
Top 3 for sure.
Top 3 for sure.
Number 1.
And then below is another one of my favorite people in pinball, Dennis Kriesel of Eclectic Gamers and the Pinball Show. So if we want to do some quick plugs, who are you? What was the last game of pinball you played? Tom, go for it.
I'm Foxy's Pinball. I do a lot of tournament streaming, playing a lot of tournaments. The last game I played was Metallica Remastered.
Nice. And that game, Ray Day added a whole bunch new stuff to it.
Yes. It's good.
What's a new thing that Ray added to the game that you really enjoy? If there's one.
Stuff I can't get to.
So, okay. Okay. Perfect. Wonderful. Yeah, Carrie, I feel bad. Carrie's in chat. What the heck? I actually played Dune and didn't get invited to this. Yeah.
You could have invited Carrie. Why am I
here? There were reasons for that, Carrie. Yeah. Sorry.
Carrie was here 2 weeks ago. And Jared brought his book, okay? All right. So Jared, this is all the Dune that we need, right? Dennis, do you have your Dune book handy? Is it
They're in the living room.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Perfect. Dennis, who are you? What was the last game of pinball you played?
Hey, I'm Dennis. I co-host with Eclectic Gamers podcast and the Pinball Show. I think last game I played was probably Jaws Premium, I think, of last week. I haven't played anything this week.
Nice. Well, cool. And I think the last game of pinball I played was probably Mando. We're still borrowing that. Zach is
Cactus Canyon. One's mine.
We don't know yet what the next game is going to be. So I'm excited.
Space Hunt.
Dude, if it ever gets here, Okay.
It's a classic.
Here's the deal. What are we talking about tonight? We're talking about Kong and Dune. So if you happen to watch this afterwards on YouTube, I'm going to do my best to make sure that the image represents what we're talking about. So if you want to flip ahead or go back, we can do that. I am going to let Dennis decide. Do you want to start with Kong or Dune?
Let's start with Kong.
Okay. We're starting with Kong. Jared, you can take a nap. Jared has...
All right, see you later.
What have I heard so far about Kong? I have heard a lot of really good things. Whoa, Smo Moto got pre-orders in on both. Not super fan of Kong art, but layout looks like it could be another top 10 game. But Dune is S tier for me. Looks amazing. The old Lynch movie. is awesome, but the new ones are masterpieces. I agree, dude.
Have you seen the original Lynch movie?
I have not seen the original Lynch movie, but I've seen the newer ones. But Tom and Dennis, you guys have both seen the newer Dunes, right?
And the miniseries that was on the Sci-Fi Channel.
I have not seen. Is the miniseries worth it? I have not seen it.
Yes,
it's good.
Okay,
it's the only one right now that touches on children of Dune.
Yeah.
I've never seen Dune, but my kids love it.
Huh.
You should see it, Tom.
Yeah.
I probably should.
Let me start with, and with that said, Tom, you have an LE on order, right?
No, not yet.
Okay, so we're going to talk about.
We're going to talk about King Kong. Let me pull up the art. Let's just start with the art. There's some interesting viewpoints on the art. Dennis, thoughts on the art? Do you like it or not?
It's fine.
It's fine. Okay, so it doesn't offend you or anything. No. What about you, Tom? Yeah.
I think it looks great. I kind of like the comic book type of art, I guess. I know some people don't care for it, but man, it beats the days of the old stick some clip art on the game and call it a day.
Yep.
So I really like the art package personally.
Who did the art?
Okay, so the art, interesting. The art is a combination of 3 people. It's Greg Freris. Is it Kevin O'Connor? Is that right? And then Zombie Yeti. So as far as I know, the playfield was done by Kevin O'Connor and Greg Freris. And that's because there was an original King Kong game, Data East, right? Data East, or who made the original King Kong?
Yeah, they only made like a handful of them, but
Yeah, more
like 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was Kevin O'Connor who had done all the playfield art for the original one. And so Elwin thought it would be cool if, hey, you put all this work into that game and they only made 10. What if you did this one? So this whole section down here that says King Kong and basically everything below the flippers, that's almost identical to the original game. Like it's an amazing homage to it. And then Greg Freris was the art director at Stern. He just recently retired. So Keith Elwin was saying, hey, what if you did like one last hurrah? So the code name for this game was Rodeo because it's his last rodeo. So
sneaky.
I think a lot of this was Kevin Freris. Am I saying that right? Kevin, what am I saying wrong? Greg Freris did a lot of, he filled in all the rest up here, and then it was Kevin O'Connor did all the, it was all of that, yeah. And then Zombie Yeti did the cabinet, and I think the translite. So it's 3 artists are doing it, and I don't necessarily know if I would have noticed that. Like I don't think the art feels disjointed, or I think it's cohesive. Do you agree with that?
The art is cohesive, and they're using colors, a lot of purples across all of it. So it is very cohesive, but I would say the reason I asked because it did feel very different at times within the art package. And not that it's a bad thing. I kind of think it's cool where it's kind of a semi-retro on the bottom of the playfield, more newer, and then very new on the side of pinball art, which Pinball Underground, by the way, $30
Australian, yeah.
Thank you.
The Kong string slapped. Yeah, we're going to watch some of that. Art is 50-50, very full on. I do like the homage to Didius.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for purple. I love the color purple. So when I see an art package like this, I'm like, I love it. I don't know. Yeah. To me, I think there were some people that were really expecting jungle, really expecting it to be green heavy, greens and browns. To me, selfishly, I love this. Like this art, I saw it and I'm like, this color palette is right up my alley. But I look at it almost like Evil Dead. Like Evil Dead, that art package could have been brown, just all brown cabin, dirt and green, and yet Franchi brought in teals and pinks and fuchsia and really made it pop. So I don't know, there's some people that are very upset about this art package because they feel if this game is supposed to be based off of the original book that came out in 1932, that it should be retro.
Do people think that everything in the 30s was in black and white though? I mean, is that what the Is that the? I'm being dead
Oh, don't worry.
serious.
I'm sure they're going to do a black and white version of this.
I mean,
they got.
But
if they did, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, the Kong lore, and they said specifically it's kind of a new take on it, right? That they're not directly taking the storyline from like the movies or something like that, and so to have all these colors, have all this thing, like the idea of Terror Island and this kind of the island that King Kong resides on has always been kind of a mystical place anyway. So I think by the high amount of colors, because there's dinosaurs and dragon things and weird creatures, and it's all almost has an alien vibe to it at times. I don't think it's like out of bounds with what they did on this to make it as bright and colorful as they did.
I like it, but Zach actually said it really well. I'm with you, Joel. I selfishly love it, but I understand why people want old, withered art. Like, and I'm trying to remember. I mean, maybe Tom or Dennis, you remember more, but obviously there was a lot of negativity when Godzilla came out. That people were like, Godzilla looks like a watermelon. Why is it so saturated? Why is this is if you're gonna pull in old movie clips, why is it not more dark but I mean, this is the type of color palette that, like, I think grabs your attention if you're in a arcade or I don't know. I mean, if I like Tom, I know you're probably gonna get one of these. Is this you like it? You wish it was different? I mean, your vote matters.
No, I like it. I mean, I'm all in on the artwork. Okay. I think the Ellie looks awesome. I love that foil. I really like what they did with the X-Men limited edition where they had the side art in foil. Mm-hmm. It looks so good, and they're doing the same thing on this game, it sounds like. So I think it's going to be a home run. I mean, I don't knock it until you see it in person, I guess.
Yeah.
Me personally, but.
And I know Tom and I are going to see it tomorrow. Carrie and Chad, as per usual, dust is all stirred up on release. Once people start getting their hands on it, acceptance will set in. Yeah, my immediate or initial reaction to the art, I had no negative thought to it. And then, of course, you hop on Pinside, you hop on Facebook, and it's just, you got a lot of people that have very strong opinions on it. So I'm excited. it's a color palette that is really attractive to me and what I like. Somebody chat said, art is fine, let's move on. So, yeah, which is fair. This layout, I don't know. I know Jared's looked at this picture alone for, I think, 10 seconds. But Tom and Dennis, have you tried to understand this layout? Because this layout is insane. What are your thoughts on, just the initial, this game really, I had a lot of questions just looking at it of like, where does this
what are your questions, Joel?
Well, I got it now that I've seen the stream. But if you look at this layout, there's some shots here that really it's like, what is happening? I don't know. Dennis, you've watched the trailer, but do you understand all these shots or?
No, I mean, I haven't. I wasn't able to watch today's stream. I was in no way almost late to joining this, so.
In no way. No,
but no, there were a few shots that I was a little unsure about. However, from what I have been able to see, I don't think it's particularly. I don't think it's going to be. Let me rephrase it. Let's put it this way. I think you'll learn these shots faster than Godfather. Like I don't feel like it's really that discombobulated or that there's a lot of whole state changes to figure out or anything. I think it's just you look at it and. Your initial reaction is, I'm not quite sure what happens once you go over here. And you see it once and you'll understand it. It seems so high flow that understanding the shots isn't going to be difficult. So I don't know. I think the layout, I like it because once again, I feel like Elwin, he's got a few tropes, but his layouts always look very different from one another. And this is just yet another one that doesn't, to me, when I look at it, it doesn't feel like anything else he's done before. And so that's the part that excites me about it. But I don't find the shots particularly mysterious.
Yeah.
Not like Dune. Dune shots were more confusing to me.
I agree. And we're going to get to Dune.
Well, I had to do a reference.
No, I know.
Or Harry Potter. Those the
Harry
shots
Potter
on Harry
shots.
Potter are incredibly mysterious to me.
Magic.
All right. Well, let's look at a few things. So
Did
first
you know
off,
that I'm not allowed to spend money?
Not until
Because Harry
you're not
Potter's
supposed to. Not a dollar. Not a dollar. Center post.
Sorry, Elwin.
Sorry.
Sorry, Dune people.
First off, center post. That was a surprise to me. Didn't expect that.
Yeah.
If you look over here on this left side, there,
What?
Yeah, there's
I
center
see
post. Center post. Boom.
Wow.
In lane, nothing crazy. This is the out lane. It'll go straight down. But Elwin did a crazy shot here on the left. There's this river that squiggles down, and then the ball comes through this way.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. And so what's crazy about this left shot is that's a ramp, and this ramp will actually feed around like that.
Then it bypasses that
There's
flipper?
Yeah.
There's something even crazier about that
mean
whole
that right there?
river thing.
Yeah. So one thing you see on the stream is people looping this shot. It goes down, and then it squiggles under here, and then comes through. It's really cool, and this river's a plastic, so you see the ball like as a shadow kind of squiggle under the river. I don't know. It's just really creative, but it's going to be weird when this ball's coming this way. It's like, I need to nudge it left or right. Just don't let it go straight, because that's how it dies.
Is it lucrative to keep looping the left?
There was a mode I saw. Oh, it wasn't this ramp. I think no. This ramp feeds I'm lying to you. This ramp feeds the wire form. The mode is this. It's this shot actually goes over and then down the river. And there's this shot right here. And there's a mode specifically called River Something. And the guy streaming it tonight, Josh Rapids mode, was literally just looping it. And you would loop it until you want to cash out, and you cash out over here at the cave. So he looped it like 6 or 7 times. Okay. Yeah. And then boom, hit it on the right. It's awesome.
So is this cave going to be the hard hit shot? We have to find the hard hit shot.
I'm killing Carrie. It's probably for the best. I'm not on stream. You're killing Carrie. It's great. Everything's great, Carrie. Everything's great. So that's just starting on the left. But what's cool is right here, there's actually, what is it? It's called the log. It's a diverter. And so that ball could come down here and then go down the rivers. Or if that diverter's up, that ball is then fed perfectly to this mini flipper. So it's, Elwin during the interviews was almost calling it, he's almost viewing this area as an upper play field. That's not an upper play field. It's kind of, it goes by, or it'll set up the shot. And then with this mini play field or this mini flipper, you can either aim at the drops. There's a target right here you can aim at, or with this flipper is how you hit this ramp. And this ramp curls around here, goes over here, and then the ball goes up to then feed this flipper. So there's a crazy figure 8 loop here where you go from this flipper, it goes up, rolls behind.
So you can pass between the two. Okay.
It'll basically feed this flipper, and then it goes up and around and back. And I saw that a few times on stream. This crazy figure 8 that just, it looks insane. Jared's gonna demo it flawlessly on stream once we get the game. Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you think it was worth doing this sort of geometry, or should he have added a second button that would just have allowed him to auto tap pass?
Oh, I need tap pass like Mark. He should have. It would have wowed everybody. It would have wowed everybody playing.
It wowed Joel, I'll tell you that.
No, I think it wowed you, Tom. I think you were wowed because you thought I had skill for a second.
Yeah.
And
I did for just like half a second.
You were wrong.
I was like, damn, Joel's getting good. And then it all just came crumbling down.
This right here, we got a magnet and a big old spider. I can't wait. My dad's going to love it. So this is the beast.
That is a big old spider.
So Elwin described this whole area as, there's some targets under here, as the Bozo multi-ball. You just have to hit this area 2-3 times and boom, you're in a multi-ball. But that'll be a cool mech. That'll bring
multi-ball.
I don't know. I'm excited about that. These are 4 sweepable drops. They spell Kong. So there's a way that you can hit it from the right flipper and just.
Did you catch the hidden art on the Kong pop-ups for one of the pieces of treasure, Joel?
Yeah, behind the drops.
No, there's a certain Gary Stern is one of the.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
He's right here.
I thought I saw something.
What else are we seeing? We're seeing some crazy. This upper ramp. This thing feeds, and then it goes down here, and then it helixes, and then it comes, and it goes fast. It's a very cool ramp. This upper flipper ramp. So the question with any upper flipper is, how do you feed that upper flipper? What's crazy to me is this left shot is actually an orbit. It'll go all the way around to feed that upper flipper from the left. But from the right, it won't. From the right, this ball goes around here, and then we'll hit a target that gets kicked back. So the ball then comes back down to your flipper. Or if they have that kickback target turned off, there's a hole right here. So the ball will fall down that hole, then go in this vuck, and it'll feed to the right. So the fact that somehow he has designed it where you have an orbit if you go from the left, but it's not an orbit going from the right. I'm assuming it's a ramp. I don't know. Like, I'm assuming the orbit just goes up and over. I don't know. I don't know how he's going to do that. I'm going to have to inspect that. But that's crazy to me. So this is a cool shot. This is a cool shot. This return is a cool shot, and that's just the left side. We have the ramp I just told you about with a crazy wire form. There's a under this ramp shot, which feeds this flipper. Then you got the main ramp right up the middle. The main ramp right up the middle will, most of the time, go to the left down this wire form to feed your left flipper. Otherwise, if you have your Kong locks lit, it'll divert, and it'll divert this way, and then this subway will store 3 balls. So there's a diverter behind the playfield there. This shot is a spinner, and if you go this way, it'll hit this spinner, so 2 spinners, and that's the shot that feeds all the way to your flipper, or if the diverter's down, all the way down here to your left flipper, which is insane. Then we got the gong. We're excited about the gong. I know Tom likes gongs.
Unless you get a pro, then you're not excited.
No gong on the pro. This gong,
the gong sound effect though.
Gong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's hearing it's half the battle. That's what G.I. Joe taught us.
The gong is, he said there's 2 coils on this. So the gong isn't always a target that the ball flies by. There are times where you hit the gong and it basically will kick the ball back at you. And then when you actually are ready to start on island mode, that's when you hit the gong, it'll allow the ball to go past it into this hole, which is a vertical up kick to feed the upper right. So that fact that toy will change based on where you're at in the game. And then I told you before, this is the shot that I'm really curious to see how it feels. Because the fact that you're hitting a shot that you think's an orbit, and instead the ball's going to come rocketing back down at you to set up this upper flipper. I'm very excited to try that. And then there's an under the flipper shot. I say that the shot's just directly under the flipper. You don't actually have to lift the flipper up, but you go back in here and there's another vertical up kick, and you can start some certain things there, and that'll feed the right flipper. The plunge will go over here, or you can plunge it up here, or you can plunge it over here. There's a whole mode dedicated to the plunge. So to me, this is a layout that is really original, and I am very excited to play it. Tom, you have way more experience than me, and Dennis, you're kind of a historian in that fact. Is there anything that you see on this playfield that reminds you of another game? Or like, do you feel any of these shots feel or look like they would be familiar to something else that you've experienced?
The wire form that loops around, maybe I've seen that in a couple of games, but I was thinking like Ripley's or something, like with where the spider is and the magnet. It's not in the same location, but that's what I was thinking of. But no, I mean, the game's very unique, and you know, like Dennis was alluding to before, I mean, Keith kind of has his certain things, but all his games are different layouts. He doesn't repeat a lot of stuff, which is nice. And did you notice there's no pop bumper?
None.
Huh.
None. Well, Jaws had one, right? So,
right.
but
We're getting away from pop bumpers,
Pop bumper.
which may not be a bad thing.
No, they stink. Anyway.
okay.
I'm sorry. I hate pop bumpers.
I hate clusters of
They're
pop
gonna give you a
bumpers.
break, honestly, but
Well, pop bumpers high, great. That's a break. When they start putting them low, ugh. They just never do what you want. Oh, look, a stream.
Yeah, so they just streamed this game, literally hours before.
it's Joshua Henderson.
And Josh, this guy, he is Rick Nagel's the lead coder on this game, and then Josh is the second in command. And Josh like blew it up. He did a ton on stream. A few things that well, Dennis, was there anything on this that you saw that looks or like if you were to step up to this, what would you want to do first? What's the shot that stands out to you? Like, all right, I want to see what this is all about.
The gong.
The gong.
Gong's pretty cool.
Yeah, I get it.
I liked all the sound effects. I like the biplane sound effect.
Yeah.
I like the gong.
That's cool. Does the gong move?
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you know?
I like
yeah.
I like the spider going.
So the spider, the way that it looks like it actually attacks the ball. You can see it in the trailer. I want to see if anybody else has this stream pulled up. The rapids mode. I was going to show. I think it's right. Start rapids awarded. Okay, it's right here. Look, so he's literally just looping that shot. Do you see how it feeds down on the left through the river? And he's just boom, loop, loop, and there's lighting over here on the river. But he does it like 6 or 7 times, and then he cashes out to the right under the flipper.
That's actually the only shot I see that reminds me of anything, and it reminds me of the alley-oop setup on hoops, but slightly slower. But that's what it reminds me of, where you do a left shot and you feed and you're trying to shoot it over across to the right.
Yeah, that's.
But you'd never see it visually. It's just how it behaves.
Derek G.
That's it. Also, did Elwin not do a 180 ramp on this?
He didn't, unless it's hidden in the back.
I appreciate, because I actually don't love his 180 ramps.
Yeah. This mode that he just started is called, is it Dead Eyes? Yeah, Dead Eye mode. And so it's for 30 seconds, you get endless plunges. And you'll see here, he's trying to plunge either of these in lanes. And then I think what they said is if he hits 3 of them, so this is something I've never seen in a game, where it's just like you're literally just trying to do the skill shot. If he hits 3 of them, it'll light the river shot all the way up here, and that's how you get the super jackpot. And I don't know, that's really clever. So there he hit what he needed. So this is pretty far into the game. It's not like he just started and then all of a sudden he's plunging over and over. There he goes, and then he hit the river for the. Yeah, Josh was like showing this game like a pro. It was really impressive. What else do we know about this game? The code. So I know there's a multi-ball attached to the spider area. You just hit that a few times, you'll be in that multi-ball. The King Kong multi-ball up here, you have to sweep the targets. You have to hit the targets down to spell Kong, and then you can start locking balls up the middle. So the fact that there's a light right here, I don't know if you can see it in the middle, on the ramp itself is lit, lock 1. That'll signify that if he hits this ramp, it's going to divert over to the right and lock over there. I know there's island modes. Island modes at the gong are like different, and you can select which one you want to play. That's where the guy's filming you do stuff. I don't know yet, and maybe it's because I just don't know my King Kong history, but King Kong's bad, right? Or is he good? Or is that the question, right?
Is man really the bad person in this scenario?
There, he had the
King
gong.
Kong is the real question.
I would say it's, without knowing all of the materials, it's like Godzilla, where it depends on the movie.
Well,
so Godzilla's bad in several movies. In most movies, he's essentially like an anti-hero because he's not pro-humanity so much as he is pro-nature. But
Kong is
there's
misunderstood.
usually a worse monster that he's stopping, and humanity needs him.
Yeah. Well, there's a mode where you have to cross a bridge. So you see Kong holding this log, and it's like, well, if Kong is bad, he would not be holding the log to let people cross. But that was the only one I was a little
them
confused.
later. It's like saving. It's like leftovers.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's because he likes the girl.
Giveaway tonight? Do we have? Wait, he said 200. Let me see. Yeah, I think he said if we got 200 people on chat, we're doing a giveaway. So where are we at?
Let's go.
We are at 207. Shoot. We're giving something away. Tom, we're giving away one of your games. Which one do you want to get rid of?
Sorry, nothing is good.
Okay, let me pull that up.
Question is, does Joel have the correct program pulled up tonight?
I do. I just pulled it up.
So that we don't
I just pulled it up.
have another mistake.
Well, let's wrap up. We'll do a giveaway right at Kong.
Ooh, banner.
Zach said we'll do another giveaway at 250. So sick. Okay. All right. Wait, let me do that.
Rush.
All right. What do we got? There's right here in the middle, there's all these lights on the building. And so there are these yellow arrows that all say climb.
Gotta climb, Joel.
And the more you hit, you're like progressing slowly throughout the game. You're climbing this building, and every time you can, so that's what's happening right now. Is being that he completed the bottom level, he's now playing a New York mode. That's why Kong is caught.
The Empire State Building, Joel.
But to me, I love having modes that you're just slowly chipping away at in the background, and you don't recognize it. And I don't know, it gives you something to keep working towards. So the fact that that's one of the main goals is to work your way all the way to the top. And then I think one of the other goals is you spell King Kong by doing a bunch of different stuff. And once you spell King Kong, that's when you fight the T-Rex. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited to play this game. I think it looks great. I don't know. Any other thoughts? What are your thoughts, you two? I've talked a lot.
You've done the Joel breakdown. Dennis, we need something.
Yeah.
We need something. Not
know,
Joel
just overall thoughts.
talking rules.
I've listened to every podcast I can and watched the stream, just trying to be
Yo,
informative.
what about the gorilla? You have not talked about the gorilla in the back.
The moving
Come
gorilla.
on.
Amy, bad gorilla. Wait, she was a good gorilla.
On the stream, they said that the guy that coded all the movement, they were able to actually use Blender, which is 3D editing software, and basically
Blender's that robot from Futurama.
Yes.
They
Boy, that's Bender.
Yeah.
So
extra L there, bud.
in Blender, they basically did all the animations, and then they somehow were able to export that into, I'm assuming, Servo or whatever they're using to move it. So the fact that they could like just full on animate it and then export it and have the toy animate itself is pretty amazing. Not only that, the hands are big enough it can hit the glass. So apparently on replay, he's gonna like cling cling, like hit the glass. At one point, he was gonna hold the ball. You can see his left hand is kind of in the shape for that. But they said it was easy to get the ball in his hand, but then what do you do with it at that point? And they didn't like the idea of throwing it. So
No.
apparently the train was kind of a last minute thing of what if we allow the train to fill up and then he destroys the train.
Knocks over the train.
It's like, well, that's cool.
That's
so
cool.
Yeah, man.
No, Dennis, vibes.
Good deal.
We need vibes. What are we vibing?
It looks
right now?
great. Are we in any way surprised? Any criticism I would have of it is just nitpicking. Do you
Here's
want
the
me to
crust.
nitpick it? I can. But
I'm here for the nitpicks.
Let's go with two
Yes.
nitpicks. Let's
Two.
go with, you only get two, Dennis, or unless you have three, just all locked and loaded.
all right. Given the art package is so Terror Island oriented, I don't love that there's like New York toys on it,
Okay.
especially
Yeah.
the subway.
Okay.
I get it though, because that's what everyone remembers from the movie. So that'd be nitpick number one. And number two will be on the Pro. Normally, I don't feel like the Elwyn games are, and let's even set that aside and just think about D&D, their last release. It feels really stripped here. Like we could have kept the gong, guys. The gong. We could have kept the gong.
There's
I
two
get
coils in the gong, Dennis.
not the articulating gorilla. You know, Amy has to be a bad girl. Pro, I understand. The change to the spider, I understand.
Yeah.
Getting rid of the subway or something. But
They got rid of-
the gong was an instrument too far.
Okay. The gorilla does not move on the Pro, and then this entire subway lock is not on the Pro, and then the
Okay.
gong is gone. The gong is not on the Pro, and then the spider mech is not on the Pro. The magnet's there, but the Spider Mech is not. But the sweepable drops, Dennis, are still there. Oh, and the biplane. The biplane is not a sculpted biplane, but it's a what is the booty right? Booty right.
Booty right.
It's a booty right biplane. So, I mean, we all know there will be a mod for a gong real easy. But I get it. If you're paying that type of money, you want stuff to be in the game. But that was 2. So pros
Costing it out.
Did you have a third nitpick? Were you locked in?
No, Joel.
No.
Oh, I was only asked to provide 2. A couple is 2.
Yeah. Tom, I'm curious. Tom, you are typically an LE buyer. LE art. I was surprised that the powder coat.
Joel, the last 2 games I bought pros.
Yeah, but the last 2 games were
have
not made by Keith Elwin.
It's hard to unring that gong.
The last 2 games were not made by Keith Elwin.
It's hard to pass up an LE.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
I was surprised to see the powder coat just matte black. I was surprised to see that. I like it, but it doesn't have the normal pop.
What were they gonna do? Green, purple? I mean, they already got enough purple.
It's true.
I mean, they can't. Yellow, maybe? I don't know.
No, then it's Avengers.
But they already did that on Avengers, so
like
they probably ran out of all the WWE stuff. Finally.
Oh, the gold, yeah. I was gonna say, Keith Elwin.
It seemed like it took forever to get through that. Full kudos to Stern for not jumping up to 1,000 units on this one, though.
Oh, true. Yeah, 932.
I'm proud of him for not doing
seven short or something like that.
Yeah, it's close, but I mean, that one needed a bump up, but they don't need to go back to 1,000.
One of the things Elwin said on the Loser Kid podcast, which I highly suggest everybody go watch or listen to, is he said when it comes to the license, all he was told was
Art Deco.
Follow the book, and is it Amy? What's the girl? The girl's name? She can't be a damsel in distress. So that was it. That was basically the only direction they were given. So they wrote basically all the storyline, and he envisioned the female character as more like a Tomb Raider. You know, they're looking for treasure, not this damsel in distress type of character. So he said from an IP standpoint, sure, I can't. He's like, I can't have Godzilla go to the moon and fight a robot I can't have King Kong go to the moon and fight a robot King Kong because Mecha Kong is actually a thing and it was owned by another thing. So he goes, I had some stuff I had to stay.
It's owned by these guys.
Stay in, but he's like, realistically, they could kind of write whatever they wanted, and that's pretty cool. It's almost like an unlicensed license theme, if that makes sense. But all right, enough of that. Let's do a giveaway. Let's give away some of Zach's stuff. Active chatters. Yes, this is different. All right, so the way that we do this is all you have to do is you have had to have said a comment starting now because I hit the button. So make literally any comment you want. Most people write rigged because they assume we rig everything. So far, just to review, Christopher Franchi has won something that we said no to.
Yep.
Jared's boss had somehow won something.
You make your boss watch?
Yeah.
He chooses to. It's weird.
Not only did Christopher Franchi win, Christopher Tranchi, which is his alter ego that we don't know. We still don't know. He apparently lives in California.
That guy won. Vicar of art.
Yes. The one night, who was it? Was it Paul? What was the name? Chat would know. We did 2 or 3 giveaways, and I think all of them were the same first name.
Yes.
So what were the names? I think it was Paul.
Remember, I'm half asleep during most of the streams.
Jared doesn't. So yes,
you fall asleep too during Joel's stuff?
I know. Well, when he starts talking rules.
Wow.
I'm glad other people, because in chat they were like, Joel,
rigged,
and I'm like,
rigged if I win.
I'm glad the world gets to hear my pain of listening to Joel talk about pinball.
I imagine this is what every golf cart ride is like.
No.
Joel doesn't go. No. Well,
we don't talk about, believe it or not, Jared, we talk about more than pinball. There's a lot more in life than pinball.
But there's a lot of, okay, I want to buy another machine, and I'm thinking this, but what if, and I'm like,
I
I
wish
don't
you
Get a
Uh,
third
know.
golf cart, Jared.
Yeah, I always like to hear Jared's opinion, and I don't think he wants to give it anymore because his opinion's always buy a labyrinth. Why'd you sell Deadpool? Blah, 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 blah. Okay,
Now he wants a Dune.
well, I am showing the screen, so I don't. It's everybody's gonna assume
I
rigged.
don't even understand what this is that you're showing.
This is Nightbot. This is how I select a winner. Because I tried it once by saying a number, and Jared and I were trying to read it. And it failed.
You failed.
So this
All right.
gathers up everyone who leaves a comment and
Correct.
cross-reference it against if they bought at least a premium from Flipping Out.
No, yes,
There's no
it references
cross-reference.
a sales record.
We're not
All
that
right,
smart.
we're at
Not a
90,
chance.
98 entries, 99. Once we get to 100.
100
Here we
entries.
go. I'm clicking the button, and the winner is do Adam Schmizek. Adam Schmizek.
Mizek.
Adam,
Say that
are
5
you
times
here? Are you here, Adam?
Where are you?
Are you here? Oh, I didn't do low latency again.
See, if everybody in chat was smart, they would try to drain them out, and just start spamming the chat.
They would all say Adam. Adam is here. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, then there's the real question, everybody. Where does Adam live?
What country?
Please, we in chat want it to be anywhere but the U.S.
Anywhere
Not
but
that we're
the
against
US.
Americans, but it complicates the shipping for Nicole, and it gets Zach in trouble. So
The
please,
tariffs-
Adam, tell me
great.
you're somewhere outside of the U.S. Let's see where we got. What do we
Egypt.
got?
Egypt?
No way.
What?
You can't be.
Yes.
You can't be serious. Is it really? Is it really Egypt? You cannot be serious. Zach's gonna.
Yes.
No,
I didn't even know they
Minnesota.
had-
Oh.
No, Minnesota.
I think Zach just died a little, thinking he was gonna have to somehow tell Nicole he was shipping a banner to Egypt. All right, Minnesota. That's awesome.
Hey, Nicole.
Hey.
You got to put all the stamps on this one.
Yeah. Adam, please email Zach at Flippin' Out Pinball, and he will hook you up with Minnesota, the Egypt of the U.S.
What? River? No.
Okay.
Wisconsin would be more.
Fantastic job. We're doing another giveaway at 250? 250? Oh, we're at 249. 240. We're at 246.
250. Call your
246.
friends.
246.
Make your mom watch.
Get those extra accounts logged in. Let's see if we can crack 250. Do another one. Okay. Wake up all your kids. Yeah.
Kids, get on the YouTube.
Neil, I need you to watch the Flip It Out stream.
No, Dad.
Yeah. This isn't Zach, this isn't a telethon. Oh, that's great.
Zach, if you're upset about it, don't give stuff away.
Yeah.
We get the views.
No. Rack them up. It's happening.
yeah.
We need 3 more. 3 more.
Sawyer's on.
We'll wait.
Sawyer's a little late for you.
Joel, show your calves and get the viewers. No, I think we need to get a picture tomorrow. Never mind. We could get a picture
What?
of Travis's calves next to. All right, where are we at? We're right there. It says I'm seeing 250 there. Anybody else confirm that? Are we at
Yeah, I see
250?
50.
I think we did it. 250 hit. Here we go. We're rolling again. Let's go.
Sell some damn games.
Let's go.
Hey, for your
300.
flipping out
go.
pinball
Oh, yeah.
needs, flipping out pinball, and Zach a pinball.
Jared is
Bye-bye.
really good. Jared, the first, 10 or 15 streams, he said, contact your
Local dealer.
Yeah.
Pinball needs.
Well, hey, Zach, I really appreciate you and Nicole for giving away stuff. And yes, if you're looking to buy either a King Kong or a Dune pinball machine, reach out to Zach.
Evil Dead,
or
you can't
Greg
buy them
at
anymore.
Flippin'
They're
Out. There we
gone.
go. Your local supplier. Local suppliers. That's what he said. Just roll down to your local supplier.
Rub it in, Jared. Rub it in.
I'm horrible
All right, here
at
we go.
this.
Here we go. I'll show. It's not rigged. It's not rigged unless
Here
it's
we
somebody
go.
we know.
Joel is so paranoid about this now. It's awesome.
I love it. Okay, here we go. We're at 114 and 3, 2, 1, boom. Winner is Rob Caddo. Rob
Kong
Caddo.
was what he said.
Are you
Nice.
here? Are you here? And Where do you live?
Where are you from?
Please, Egypt was fantastic. Egypt was. Please.
What's the name of that island with the penguins?
What?
Oh.
Antarctica?
Is it Madagascar?
Oh, Madagascar.
Yeah. Island?
Tennessee. All right, Zach. We got some.
I watch YouTube.
We have some.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question.
Yeah. Tennessee. We've shipped stuff to.
You piping in from North Korea, you might be in trouble.
All right, Zach said we just
Nicole's out there in the DMZ trying to hold it across the landmines.
He gave it away.
Some poor son of a gun just trying to watch two idiots and two cool guys talk about pinball.
Zach is saying we just got more Stern headphone kits in. So I don't. Was that a headphone kit or a shaker motor? Oh, okay. Christopher Tranchi's in chat.
Of course he is. If Franchi's in chat, Trancy's in chat.
I love it.
Because of the same person.
All right. Enough of that. Let's talk about Dune.
Woo!
I'm gonna give Jared. I'm gonna give Jared the floor just for a second.
Dune
is Dune. Why is Dune? And you can talk about this book for just you know.
Why
is this any good?
I brought Dune. So Dune is the.
Imagine bringing a book to a pinball podcast stream.
Well, okay. First of all, so Dennis earlier he was like, "We don't need no posers up in here," so I'm proving I'm not a poser. All right. So this is
nerd alert. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Guys, it's Dune. Okay.
You said I got what is it? What's
Masa ul al Gib?
Yeah,
I always mess it. Al Gib. Anyway, so Dune. Guess what? One of the greatest science fiction novels written of all time, written by Frank Herbert. There's 6 of them, carried on by his son after he passed away, unfortunately.
Get the viewers drop. Giveaway of 50 viewers. Sorry, go ahead.
All right. No, I'm done. I'm just, you know what? I'm excited. In the week before the departure to Arrakis, when all the final scurrying above it. Anyway, so Dune has been a classic. We all know better about the Dune has had a very interesting history when it comes to film. You have the David Lynch films that most people know about in the 80s, which are great. And then they did something in the early 2000s, which gave us the Sci-Fi Channel, which is also another really good. And it goes beyond Dune. It gets into Dune Messiah and Children of Dune, which is great. And then the world woke up one day and Denis Villeneuve, who also did Blade Runner 2049, which is an amazing movie, by the way.
Fantastic films.
He dropped onto the world and he said, hey, what? You know what all them nerds have been talking about for like ever? They've been talking about Dune. They've always been talking about it. So here's a movie and it's going to make like $450 million. And then guess what? I'm going to drop Dune 2. And Jared's going to go see it in IMAX twice in 3 days. All right? So Dune's the best.
Book report. This is so good. Sorry, you're doing great, Jared.
No, we're not. I will get into the lore when we start looking at the machine, all right? There's stuff here.
Dude, I'm pumped.
So, now the world knows about
Dune. Getting a rush pin, man.
It is.
Dude, okay, legitimately, I will say this. People that no one cares about books here. Everyone cares. All the good media comes from books.
A paperback is like pro edition, and then you have your hardcover, which is
I have Tom. I have 3 hardcover versions of Dune because one of the things I do is collect books that I find in bookstores of books I love. That's why I own like 7 copies of Fahrenheit 451. Anyway, here we go.
So Travis there in chat, Mossman, he is 100% Sci-Fi Nerds Unite. Travis is the lead mechanical engineer on this game. So,
good job, Travis.
I'm very excited that you're here in chat.
We met him.
You can definitely answer questions that we don't understand when we look at some gameplay here. But I'm excited about this game.
Joel would not leave this poor man alone at TPF.
Travis, what are you talking about?
He just up on him and he's like, okay, so in Labyrinth, would you do this on the thing?
Congratulate
how did you make the thingy thing? And then the art. And then he's like, go away, Joel. And he's like, but I have so many questions.
I mean, you were pretty spot on.
Wow. I think Travis and I are friends. You know, I think it's a genuine friendship. That's what I think.
I think Travis puts up.
Travis, don't comment on anything besides yes in chat. Don't take this from me.
All right, before we get into, I need to know opinions about this art. I have my opinions, but we need to go around the
Well,
line.
first, I want to hear, Dennis, you've read Dune. You're the only other person in this group, probably one of 4 in chat that have read the book.
Never read
but I mean, is
You
Jared
never read any book, Tom?
No. Not even in college.
You graduated dental school. How did you didn't read a single? Okay,
It's just drill, baby, drill
It's
over
all
there.
pictures.
it's just drill, baby, drill.
1 tooth, 2 teeth, 3 teeth, drill.
That's awesome.
No,
Just point. You'll get something right.
Which one hurts? Which one hurts? Okay, that's. But I mean, Dennis, is this a theme that you were excited about? Is Dune like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not to the extent of Jared, but my range is much narrower in terms of, I guess, emotional variance. But yeah, the movie, like, I've liked every version I've seen. Dune, the first book, is very good. The other books are a different story depending on which ones we go into, and I've not read all of the ones that Brian Herbert has done. Like, I was audiobooking some of those prequels, and after I heard him constantly say the thinking machine like 85,000 times, I gave up on that effort. But I have read all of Frank's, and it's an excellent story. It took a while to make into a movie because of the effects were just very challenged back in the day when they were trying to do this. I mean, there's a fascinating documentary about Jodorowsky's attempt at Dune in the 70s,
it's amazing.
which is worth a watch
100%.
also in addition to the actual movies. But long story short, broad audience appeal was struck with these 2 latest Dune movies. There's a lot of variance from the books with the story and such, but overall it's very entertaining, and so I think it was a good pick.
Okay, quick nerd question for Dennis. Did you I enjoyed the changes that they made between the movies and the books because I think it helps streamline the story of Dune. Your opinions? It's controversial.
Overall, yes, it's kind of like Peter Jackson and Lord of the Rings. I think they were pretty much the right decisions. The only decision I truly object about is Paul's sister should have not just been a fetus. Should have been should have been an abomination.
Is that right, Tom?
And the loss of that, and again, some of that is because I saw Lynch's film, and she's so creepy, and I just wanted her to be all, my brother comes, and just being all like, come closer to me, Baron. But no, it's just all like talking to her mom, and everyone's like, "What is this? I don't understand what's going on."
This chat, feel free. I mean, maybe you don't want to speak up. Does anybody in chat understand what the moment, whatever Jared and Dennis are sharing right now? Does anybody in chat understand? Yes, we're getting there's a few people. So good. Okay, I maybe I need to read the book. Maybe
no, Joel,
don't read the book,
dude. You're gonna be calling me every 10 minutes and be like, this is so long. It's so there's a dictionary in the back, Joel.
All right,
there's literally a dictionary in the back.
Tom, I'll read it if you read it. You want
to? Why don't you read it to me?
Okay, this layout. I'm not gonna lie. When we saw this, I'm speaking for everybody because that's the we that I am. There was so many shots here that I had no idea.
Why are we talking about the
Tell
shots?
us about the rules.
No idea.
Look at the art, Joel.
I don't know.
Look
the rules.
at the art.
Okay, we can talk about the art first.
For the love of God, look at the art.
Yeah, Johnny Crap.
It's Johnny Crap.
Yeah. So your opinions are good.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. People that watch this will know. I do not want to ever buy a pinball machine. Ever.
Yeah.
This was the first time I went home to my wife and I threw past her. I was like, hey, if I sell all my magic cards.
Really?
Well, I was testing the waters. If I sell all the magic cards, can I buy this Dune pinball machine? And I showed it to her. I was like, look at this. Look how pretty it is. Kiss.
Just in case people were wondering, this is the wife he's talking about.
And the answer was no.
And the answer was such a hard no. It wasn't even funny.
No.
And it wasn't. And then it brought up. I was like, so no pinball machines ever? No, none pinball machines. But that being said, I am already envisioning a place in my office to
Your
put.
first mistake was asking.
Nah, she's smart and she know as soon as I put 2K down to flipping out, she'd be like, wait a second, that's Nerd's not buying magic cards. I know when he's buying magic cards. No, so go to the playfield. Well, that playfield is the first playfield I want to hang on my wall. It's going on the wall.
Maybe
1,000%.
Would you rather have a playfield hang on the wall or back glass?
I want both.
Oh, okay.
I'm being spoiled.
Time to buy the game.
Anyway,
Dennis,
sorry.
you've read the books. Is there, art is, you obviously envision this in your head. So do you feel, what I know of Dune is the movies. Is this art, like, I don't know. What's your thoughts on it? I mean, Jared's excited about the art. What are your thoughts of it?
Yeah, I mean, I like the art better than the Kong art by quite a bit. They could have added more sand.
There's a lot of sand in Dune. Like a lot of sand.
But the thing
I
like,
mean,
there
I've
are
been
two
to
things,
Dunes before.
Yeah.
There's
there are
lots
two things
of sand.
I like about it, not having at all to do with Dune. One, it doesn't look oversaturated.
Nope.
And that's a big one for me because pinball loves to revert to this oversaturation style.
So if the sand was pink and purple, you would be out? You'd be...
It's more about the saturation level, not about the colors themselves. And
okay.
the second is, and we've seen Stern do this on a few games recently as well, but when you look at the playfield, Zach's kind of talked about this a bit on the pinball show. There's some like really big art set pieces. It's not a whole bunch of little windows where it feels like they had to cram everything about the movie. Like every element of the story is in a quadrant. Every ramp is trying to tell you a different story. Instead, it uses some bigger, that whole center area above the slings. It's just like, it's one shot essentially. It's one view, one vista from the movie. Not trying to be everything to everyone, and I respect that they made some artistic choices here, and it wasn't let's cram everything in.
I think
so. That's what I like about it.
Yeah,
and that apron area with that worm is awesome.
Thank you. Dennis noticed it too. That is one of the sickest. So that is, in my opinion, a playback to old science fiction like book covers and things like that. I actually try to look up to see if that had been a book cover. I haven't been able to find it, but just kind of that it's a very retro science fiction and have a little like loving note.
There's no pictures.
Yes, Joel, it's a book. You read the words, you nerd.
You have to get the LE edition.
Oh, the art. Johnny Crap has been in our streams before. I don't see him, or else maybe he's being shy. But I think this is. I'm not the artist, but if I was the artist and I was saying, all right, I need you to draw Dune. Dune is a lot of sand. It's awesome. A lot of sand. So to make an art package that is appealing, I think he did a really good job. I think one thing that was, once again, in the Loser Kid interview, if you don't notice, the whole pinball machine is kind of divided where day is on the right, and the night is on the left. And they have this whole concept. You can see, obviously, orange and then blue. They have this whole concept of time in this game where you shoot the spinners and you advance the clock. So there's certain modes you can only do when it's night, and there's certain modes you can only do during day.
Joel, do you know why time in Dune on the planet is important? Do you know why?
I don't.
Because the weather changes over the time period, so you have to constantly move in front of the weather. So that is why the day-night cycle is very important, and they talk about it in the movie. So
can you find the page?
Oh, it's like some here back in the 400s, I think.
I thought that was clever. I remember obviously Avatar had the whole eclipse mode, so that's my only taste of kind of like a time-based thing.
Talk about Avatar while we're talking about Dune. Let's talk about Dune.
I think that's cool. I think it's a cool concept that, depending on what time of day it is, adjusts what I think multi-balls and modes you can play.
I believe they didn't have the licenses for the faces on the artwork.
Well, that's what I think is interesting. Is yes, if you look at the sides, any of the cabinet, there is no face on a cabinet.
Yeah.
But the back glass there is. So I don't know. I don't know why that is. I assume approval every time you draw somebody's face, you have to have that person sign off on it.
Well, I think the side art's more of just the Fremen, of just kind of because what's interesting about this is where they're playing very heavily into the end of the first movie and the beginning of the sixth, and basically the entire second movie.
Well,
that's
a whole nother thing. Is apparently when they got this license, the second movie wasn't even out yet. So it's like they were planning this game. They were in the planning phases of this game, and the first movie was the only thing released. And so obviously they have stuff in this game from the second movie, but the challenges of when you have to lock down a license, and work on it for 2 years is kind of hard. Let's talk.
They'd have known the basics of the story, though.
Yeah,
because of the books.
That is true.
And they knew the second movie was coming out, and it was So
Travis, you're in. Did David require everybody at Barrels of Fun to read Dune to bring in?
The first book is not a hard read. I won't say that about any of the rest, but the first book is a standard hero's journey and it can be consumed as a standalone.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about shots here. This game, there are some shots that I still don't know. This area down here, there's the Box of Pain. The Box of Pain, I know for the movies. I'm excited about this. I'm curious, Tom, as a tournament player, you'll probably hate it, but there's a mode where in the movie, the Box of Pain is you have to put your hand in there, and if you take your hand out of the box, you're dead.
No, well, because they have the Gob Jabber up against them. That's what
the box doesn't kill you.
No,
the needle. The
The
poison
Benny
needle.
Jesuit, Mother Superior will kill you.
Yes. So
disobedience.
Excruciating pain. You have to keep your hand in the box. So there is a mode where this box actually comes out, and there's a little gate down here that'll come up to lock the ball. But what's really actually pretty cool about it is you hit this left ramp, the ball goes around here, and then there's a little finger, kind of like X-Men, that comes up and grabs the ball, and then it'll throw the ball down this part of the wire form, which shoots it down the out lane. So it goes down the out lane, but it locks underneath this apron, and the box is out. And so when that happens, you then have to, with the action button, hold the button down and play the entire mode one-handed. If you let your hand off the action button,
why would you
die.
assume that I would not like that?
Because it's a one-handed mode, Tom.
Do you think tournament players actually practice one-handed from time to time?
Oh, got you.
Just showing off now, Tom.
Oh, nerd, got you.
So somebody in the Loser Kid pod it said, "Oh, I'll just throw my gut on top of that that button." And they said, try it, because apparently they're tracking that if both flippers,
They
both
have
flippers
a gut
are ever.
opto that detects your guts. What's that mean?
There's too much weight. There is too much weight.
I still remember the Nate video where Zach Sharp was showing how he plays Star Trek, and he would use his forehead to hit the torpedoes.
Yeah, well, this is saying they're tracking whether or not both buttons are ever pushed in at the same time, and if it does, it kills you.
They know.
So that's pretty clever. I think that, and this is
Not
what's
as clever as gut opto, but
true. Travis, you taking notes, and the fetus pops out of the coin door and bites your stomach. Wow.
I regret mentioning the fetus because I noticed the chat has latched onto that. I'm just like, she should have been born. That was part of the point.
What else do we got in this game that's great? I mean, that's just the first part. And so this is one of the things, the struggles I have is there's
struggles.
We were invited to the media day, but to get down to Houston's a flight. It's takes time.
Wait, we were invited and you didn't tell me?
You would have gone?
Maybe.
No.
For Dune.
So for
It's
Dune,
not nice to get invited.
What bothers me where there are a bunch of media people.
This game is trash.
That there are a bunch of media people that they haven't even seen the movies, so it's like it's hard if they don't know the movies. It's hard to understand why some of these things are cool. Right here's the thumper. The thumper is how you signal the worm. So douche, douche. Under the thumper is a pop bumper. So I think that's pretty clever use that every time you hit the pop, the actual thumper mech moves.
Yep.
But there's a whole mode in here where when the thumper is going off in time, these little inserts are moving their way towards the worm, and you want to hit the worm when you want to time it right. To get the worm to come
that's
out.
How you ride the worm?
Yeah, that's how you ride it. So you gotta call the worm, and then you have to time the shot right to get it to ride the worm. That's pretty clever. Not to mention the sound. We had a Labyrinth here. The sound, the overall speaker system in a Barrels of Fun game is pretty impressive. So I'm excited to hear this game. From some of the streams that I've heard, I know it's very early on in the code. It does sound like they actually have music from the movies.
Yeah, no, the tracks that I heard, very, no shame on anybody. Thank you for all the media that existed. It was definitely the score from parts of the movie.
Travis said the audio system is upgraded to
which
add
makes
more
sense
low end.
because Dune movie fact number 17.
Yeah.
They purposely added a ton of low end to the score if you see the breakdown to it, because they're just trying to add to the sense of dread.
Oh, it's so great.
If you can watch this in like a cool surround sound system, it's one of the best soundtracks out there.
Yeah, don't watch Dune or Dune 2 on your phone with headphones.
Well, only after you've seen it like 10 times, and you just need a little refresher on Dune, you know.
Travis, can you mention, it says, that popped up as a notification. You have a picture of Paul's sister's fetus that you just shared in the chat. I don't know if I want to pull that up, but maybe I should.
I believe my note says her non-fetus form.
Oh, the Lynch version.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I will pull it. Travis, can you acknowledge, like, how much of the soundtrack did you get? Music in the original was miles better. Music in the David Lynch one? I thought the music in Dune 1 and 2 were so good.
Okay, what do we call the original? Because that gets complicated with Dune.
Let's talk about more about these shots. This is the left ramp. It is a left ramp, which I already talked about. Cool. This is weird. This is a scoop that you can come at from 3 different ways.
Great. Awesome.
Way number 1, straight at it.
Great.
Way number 2, you hold the flipper up and you kind of hit under the flipper. Boop.
Loving this already. Great.
Way number 3 is there's a spinner here, and the ball goes under this and then hits the back of the flipper and falls in. A 3-way.
You forgot number 4.
Number 4.
What's number 4, Tom?
Plunge right into it.
Oh,
there's a super skill shot.
Into it.
And they
Take
have
that, Joel. Take that, Joel.
I should have learned more. We have multiple tracks from the soundtrack. The audio code is still very early. Awesome, Travis. That's what I want to hear. Yeah. This was, to me, I'm like, if you're going to do the movies, you got to get movie clips and you got to get the audio. You got to get the audio.
And we saw the moving clips, even though the thing that I saw, it had a big pending release from the licensor across of it. But it's still, I can't imagine this is going to be a James Bond situation or something like that if they're going to show that out.
When you start the game, it does the whole like it's going to be you got to watch the movies, Tom. Watch the movies, Tom. It's so good.
I'll watch it.
Watch with your kids. Your kids love it.
Hey, Tom, you can text me the entire time.
There's a spinner here.
I'm gonna watch it with Jared.
Jared would love that. There's a spinner here. There's a spinner here, and there's a spinner here. The spinners are how you get water and spice.
Ooh, spice. Melange.
There's a magnet.
They also
here.
did the day-night.
Yes, they do time. The spinners, they do all the things.
Water's important.
There is a whole new lighting system built into the cabinet, and that's something we'll show when I show the stream. It's pretty awesome. There's a magnet here. That's how you lock a ball.
Sort of core thought scene. Yeah, rock shot.
So let's talk about that. This shot, this orbit, I think, goes all the way around.
Okay. Through the
Travis, tell me if I'm wrong. Shots collect water and spice. This shot, I think, goes all the way around. This shot is the worm, and we're going to show that off. His name is William?
They gave him a special name?
No. Well, apparently the worm...
Would you like to see him crush me like a worm?
apparently the worm in Labyrinth, his name was William. So they just called him. Okay. Perfect, Travis. Yes, this is a full orbit.
Adam, I agree with you. So it's not Shai Hulud. No, it's William.
This
Shai Hulud in our hearts.
This shot. Hello. This shot will hit the.
Will harvester. It say hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. This shot will hit the harvester and then fall down. So it'll
What's
hit
a harvester?
The harvester is how you get the spice.
How you get spice.
How you get this? You gotta get what is it, Dennis? He who controls the spice controls something.
The universe.
The universe.
Yep. You gotta just. Tom, just buckle up, man. It's so good.
How are they supposed to do international space?
So good.
How are they supposed to go between the stars without the spice?
Spice is only from Dune.
Katy Perry.
And it's how they do. That's how the navigators fold space, they must use spice. Plus, it prolongs life, so people use it as a drug.
And it's super trippy, right? And it makes your eyes blue. It's all the things. So this little jump ramp
from constant spice exposure.
Yes. This jump ramp hits under here, and there is a point where you can lock balls under here. And this is also how you destroy the harvester. And so it kind of collapses a little bit, and then on the back LCD, there's an explosion.
That is the coolest. Okay, I get it, barrels of fun. You're out here, you're being awesome, right? You're like, hey, we put an LCD screen on the back thing and it was awesome. And we had little dudes going back and forth and it was great. And then they're now like, hey, but there's a bunch of sand. Well, we're going to blow some up. And then we're going to throw a bunch of fire. And I'm like, yes, do that.
It's pretty cool. This middle, right up the middle shot, this spinner shot is what zips around here to feed the upper flipper. That is a very fast shot. This is where things get complicated because they threw all these caves.
Look at all those caves.
It hides everything.
Yeah. When I saw that, I got immediate, what is the Nordman game?
Blackwater.
Blackwater vibes.
Oh,
Blackwater 100.
All the, yes. Okay, Travis. So this...
I need all the plastic. Give me all of it.
This shot right here, this is not the ramp. Where does that go? I think there's a magnet, and I don't know. It either goes this way. Where does this go?
Harvester battles are rad. From Travis. Sweet.
Yes. Travis,
to come out the bottom
hole. It feeds
hole?
into the desert power field. So yes, it feeds into here. Down in this section is a magnet. And then there's a fork here. So that feeds. So that's actually going to be, that shot could rip around and head back down this way. Man, if only we had, like, if Kerry Hardy would have been on, because he's, like, played the game, you know, but...
It's too bad he wasn't available.
Too bad.
Yet again, why did you invite me?
Because you brought your book, Jared.
I did bring my book?
You brought your book, Jared. Okay, so, Travis, there's a magnet in that area. You got it.
My invite was solely... Joel, when he reached out, was, Dennis, can you possibly be on? I think you're the only other person who can talk about Dune from a story perspective. I was like... Okay.
I think your answer was, I can do that. And I was like, perfect. We're in. He's in. He said, Jared should get his own Hollywood Square and not share with Joel. Oh, you're right. Well, that would involve another camera.
Yeah. You think we got money for that?
Oh, God. I did all this. And I just changed the little image. What a dumb. Okay. We're good at streaming. All right. This ramp. Is it only one way? Does it go like that? Or does that ramp divert, Travis? Where does this ramp go? I'm going to give him a second. There are 3 drop targets right here. And then this whole area. No diverter in the back. No diverter in the back. No, what? No, the diverter is in the back?
No diverter in the back.
Okay, so I think it goes up that. And then
Rob Cato, the first book is pretty straightforward.
You can loop back to the upper flipper or go to the lower right flipper.
Complicated.
Oh, this thing doesn't. This thing goes here and then comes out this way.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying? No, there is a diverter in the back. So it's either doing this or it diverts, and he's saying goes down here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Ooh, fancy. Okay, so what feeds this wire form?
Let's walk it backwards.
Is that the ramp? There's a diverter here. Nope, down the wire form. Ah, okay. So it's either this or it's that. Is that what you're saying?
Cool shot.
You walk through it all. I did see the loser queue with David. I should have taken better notes. We can show that off.
Boo,
but
Joel.
Yeah. There's some crazy diverters here. And then this orbit, I think, is either a full orbit or the flap comes down. And then if the flap comes down, I think it goes here. I don't know. It does some crazy stuff. And then over here, there's a drop. And they called this reference to Radical, where you can lock a ball, and then the next time you hit it again, it'll hit off that ball and come back out.
I don't remember Radical.
Radical is a pinball machine.
Oh.
I was a little surprised that here in the middle of the playfield, I was thinking there might be magnets or something, just because there's no inserts. But
why? Why do we need something there?
There isn't. There isn't anything there.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think.
Unless I'm wrong, Travis.
Right.
Is there anything here that I'm missing, or is it just Johnny Crap art? Is that what we got?
Big, beautiful Johnny Crab.
Okay, so let's look at this.
Looks
Unfortunately,
like Jessica, looks like Paul.
Unfortunately, this is one shout out to Cool Toy. He was the first guy to get some of the stream out there. The players were not great, and that's coming from Jared and I. We are not great players.
No,
so
that's coming from Joel, the hater.
The game,
Joel is the mean one.
the game looks a little correct on both. But there are electronics that drive all the freaking coils. That's what's back there. So one thing I could show is the Loser Kid interview, and I highly suggest everybody goes watches it. The last like 20 minutes of the interview, David Van Ness has his phone, and he literally walks through the whole game. And I can show you the worm. We can show you the worm mech. But the lighting, just letting this go for a little bit, the lighting effects are pretty neat. Are it's really pretty neat.
Of life. We're back. It's hot.
Dennis, what would you need this game to be for you to want to buy it?
A good shooter.
Okay.
So, follow-up question, Dennis. How did you feel about Labyrinth? Because I think that plays a little bit into people's feelings about Barrels of Fun. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
If that shot, he just shot this ball back here, and there's something back here that diverted it down the subway, and it ejected here. There's a lot going on under this mountain.
There's okay.
Which is, sorry.
Back to Dennis. Barrels of Fun.
Yeah.
Labyrinth.
Well, I mean, I think the claim to fame for Barrels, besides having games ready to go when field, was Labyrinth felt that world under glass that people are, you looked at it and you saw Labyrinth. And I do look at this and I see Dune, but for me, gameplay is always key for something for me to buy versus just wanting to, play a few games on location. So that's where it's like, even if I don't love the theme integration as much on King Kong, I know it's going to shoot great. I'd still play it before I would buy it too, but that's just my general approach. So yeah, I just have to enjoy the layout. The rules as well are a decent component of it, but I'm a big believer that rules cannot save a bad layout. You have to have a good layout. And then from there, everything can be fixed.
Okay, Tom, similar question, right? Just vibe. This is the vibe check time before Joel starts nerding out about other boring rules crap or whatever. So just vibe check Tom on this.
Yeah, what's your vibe, Tom? What's your vibe?
I think it looks cool and interesting, that's for sure. There's a lot going on. I think that sandworm mechanism is by far like one of the coolest mechanisms I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I mean it's definitely caught my eye, that's for sure. I like Dennis said, I mean I do want to play it first before I would make a purchase, but I mean, I think it could be a winner as far as the game goes.
And I mentioned this to our panel before we had went live, but this cool toy gameplay came up in one of the discords I'm in, and a person was frustrated by how hard it looked and that the people were bricking all the shots, and I made the comment that they were just shooting without rhythm and they didn't get the joke. So I don't even think they should have bought Dune if they don't even get that joke.
Because so let's put it out on the table, right? They're only going to make 1,000 of these, right? So this isn't remember, this isn't Stern, and this is part of my new theory on pinball is that there's Stern
theorizing
does Stern stuff, and then we have these other companies that live. We just saw with Evil Dead with the Spookaloo team, right? Like they're not making as many pinballs because they're not a Stern right now, but they're going to make enough pinballs for the people that like them. And so good, bad, or indifferent, that's where it is. It still needs to shoot well and do all that stuff, but it's very interesting in my opinion that these two machines are announced, within 24 hours of each other?
Yeah.
You had Dune hit, and then you had
Godzilla. King Kong. Yep.
And I honestly feel like it's like almost the two different paths sometimes you can take in the pinball fandom kind of announced closely.
Yeah, that's a good point. But the one other thing I think that we have to remember back to the start of the stream is that we've already been instructed that we have to save our money for Harry Potter.
Yes, Harry Potter. I forgot.
Don't
even with there being no limit on the CEs. You have to
I forgot.
not buy anything.
Tom, have you?
It's Harry Potter.
I guess I'm out then.
Yeah, Tom doesn't listen. Tom didn't listen.
I mean,
This right here is so he's already locked
who am
2
I
balls.
to disobey?
So this is showing the thumper mode. You can see that thing go off, douche, douche, and every time it goes, the light goes.
That angle makes
closer.
it look like the little cap on my tires.
Yes,
Yeah, it's going close, and then here we go. Here's the worm. So the worm eats ball, and then there's different modes. So they said the worm mech. There are some times where you want the worm to just eat the ball. It's representing like eating a bad guy, and then this particular mode is representing him riding the worm. So that's why the wall doesn't go down, but it goes all the way up and then rides.
So cool.
Very useful mech. So they're saying that worm mech can be a bash toy. It can be basically a subway entrance where it grabs the ball and pulls it under, or it can raise it up, which is very neat. Here he's talking. Yes, go watch this just because David does a really good job showing the interactivity of all the mechs in the game, and then the underside of the playfield looks way different than I remember Labyrinth. Oh, here's all this electronic mechs in the middle that Travis was saying. It runs all the coils. You were kidding.
Yeah,
There's the whole
Joel's
brand.
sitting here saying, "Why don't you have a magnet?"
Yeah.
Where would they put it?
They went to more individual PCB boards for the lighting and the wiring. It just simplifies everything. So, wow, there's a lot there. There's a lot there. And look how huge that mech is. Holy cow. Okay.
So there was a comment earlier that supposedly this got leaked, which maybe is what pushed Barrels of Fun. Is that something we know about? Or
no? This has been rumored for a long time, or for quite a while.
Okay.
We cleaned up the bottom side with bigger LED ports. Yes. This has been rumored for a while. The rumors that I were hearing were Dune or Fifth Element. But no, it was
Multi-pass.
They did announce it before.
Goonies was a rumor too, right?
I'm so glad it's Dune and not Goonies. That's just a personal preference.
Yes. Okay, he's going to hit this shot. There, the finger grabs it, and then it throws it down into the box. So it's locked down here under the apron. And so now this is the point where he has to...
some people just
this is what gets the box to come out, I think. And then he has to play one-handed. I don't know. There's a whole thing here. But there we go. So grab the ball. The box comes out. So now he's in the pain box. So at this point, he has to play one-handed. Yeah. Put your hand in the box.
Get that gone.
I don't know. It's pretty... there was a question. Maybe that's a question for the two of you guys. What's the most cinematic pinball machine you've ever played? Chat, you can answer that as well. What is the most cinematic... Wow. Wow. What is the most cinematic pinball machine you've ever played? Because I know that
I saw this online, and I agreed with a few people who answered, and I would probably say Hobbit.
Hobbit is my answer.
Just the LCD and the music, and just kind of captured the essence of the movies.
I don't really know what in the context of pinball what cinematic means exactly, so I'm a little at a loss to say. I would actually, after trying it, maybe Avatar. Hobbit's a good answer, but I think Avatar really captured the movie. The problem is I didn't know what they were saying because I haven't seen the movie, and they're like, go defeat this special mode with these special things to get the special item, and they used all the movie jargon. And I guess maybe that was my example of trying to understand what a person who doesn't know Dune feels when they look at this game. Like, why is there a worm, and what's a box, and why is it hurt, and why do I have to play one-handed, and why do I want to ride a worm? And like, I guess maybe that was my version, except Avatar isn't as cool as Dune, so I still am better for knowing what I know.
Yeah. Zach is saying movie coming to a physical life. And that's where I struggle is I think I've seen some of the people that have reviewed this game already that they admittedly haven't seen the movies. So yeah, it would be hard for you to appreciate the pain box or the worm or just understand water, spice, the whole concept of the game. So I know my answer is Hobbit. I freaking loved Hobbit when I had it. I loved that game, but I also understand if you didn't know Hobbit, if you didn't understand Lord of the Rings, you step up to it and it's just, you have no idea. You have no idea what's going on. So But I think one of the key, awesome movie clips, but you got to bring in that score. You got to bring in the music, and that's what I'm excited about. Honestly, that's what I'm excited about.
Evil Dead's
with
pretty
Hobbit.
cinematic. Now that I think about it,
True. That's
Sure.
In my opinion, it's probably Evil Dead's one of the best capturing the vibe of a piece of property in a weird way within pinball. And yeah, so and now people will say, "Oh, shill Jared, blah blah blah," but I think we're in an interesting place with pinball, and I'm the newest to all of this, right? But of where pinball is becoming more, there's so much more elements that they can bring in between screens and the mechs and all that stuff. So, all right, official trailer. So, yeah, Dune. All right, official trailer.
Well, I don't know. I'm excited about the game. What I have seen, my honest opinion of what I've seen is, unfortunately, yes. The stream's out there right now. People are missing shots. I can guarantee if I would have gone there, I would be missing shots too. I think Bowen has recorded a video. I'm looking forward. Hopefully that'll get posted anytime now to see a more skilled player, actually start completing modes and hit shots. I'm really curious to see the depth and what all they're going to put in this. Eric Pripke is the guy that's doing all the code. I'm a fan of him. We had a ton of fun with Labyrinth, and we've had a ton of fun with some of the other games that he's coded. And yeah, this is a theme that I know Jared is very passionate about, and it's a theme I really like as well. So I don't know when we're going to stream it, but obviously I know Zach will try to get us one as soon as possible.
If they let us stream it, they may not want us to, show this beautiful
you
work
might
of
have
art.
To stream Space Hunt first.
There was that kinetic ball. So if you lock the ball, okay, you hit the drop, then the ball is locked. It's held there. So the next time you hit this ball, it hits the other one and kicks back out. That's pretty clever.
Oh, so that's a gate system up into the
there's the magnetic
field.
With that. Yeah, so this is him hooking both. Oh. And what's cool is when you actually watch the streams, it shows like you've hooked the left side, you've hooked the right side, so then there's another thing you have to do to ride it. There's a lot here. I would highly suggest anybody watching it in chat or watching this later on YouTube, do yourself a favor, watch the movies. I know a lot of people are turned off to the fact that they're 3 hours long, but if you like sci-fi movies at all, they're really good.
No, do you like good movies? Watch them. There you go. Fixed it for you. Then watch Mad Max Fury Road after that because...
Oh, that's such a good one.
Dennis, you're my dude, man.
Mad Max Fury Road
how have
legit.
I not met you before? You're my dude.
Mad Max Fury Road is... Travis, get on it. Get on to the next one. I mean, I want to play this one, but Mad Max Fury Road, just, I'm excited. I'm excited to play this game. So, honestly, I've been like a kid in a candy store the last 48 hours between seeing what I'm seeing here in Dune, seeing what I'm seeing in King Kong. I think we have two really cool games coming down the pipeline.
But isn't this exciting in pinball, right? That we're at a point where they drop a little similar to what I said earlier, 2 things in 24 hours. That feels so different. And they're so different. And it's still pinball we're talking about.
Yep.
But these are very different things that they're going for. And it's I think they're going to have different fan bases for them. I think you're going to have some people love this, some people love that. And it's to me, that's exciting that pinball's at that point right now where you can have companies do that. And not every machine is for everyone. I will always say this. And it's just cool to see like, hey, here's 2 really different offerings for everybody. You're probably, and then if you don't like these 2, I don't know, wait 2 months and we're going to get something else that may be more up your alley. So like, that's exciting to me.
Travis in chat is saying something about a sculpt that he likes. Who is that? Oh, that's Paul?
Yeah, it's Paul.
So they're just saying there's no sculpt of Paul?
Why do they need a sculpt of Paul? He's the
the Thornicopter. Is it Thornicopter? That's the only thing I'm surprised. Orna? I'm surprised that there isn't a sculpt of that. So maybe we're saving that.
Jared, make it first pen. I already told you why. My beautiful wife.
Okay.
Said no.
Well, surprisingly, we're kind of out of stuff to talk about, and we're half an hour early. So unless Tom or Dennis, if either of you have something you want to chat about, we can. Otherwise, I know Tom and I both have 6+ hours of driving tomorrow to do. You're going back
So
tomorrow.
you're dropping
right?
a hint that it would be wise to end it. Well, but I'm not. I'm going to ask a question.
Oh,
So,
please do.
Yes, Dad.
Jared, if you were to add one thing to Dune, what would you add?
To the pinball machine?
Yeah, like a sculpt or a feature or a mode. And I mean, I don't expect you to know what all the modes are in there, but
yeah,
I'm curious.
So I'll start with saying I'm interested in seeing where in the footage that we've seen, there's early stuff from the first movie where it's a very young Paul, and it's early in the movie, and the pinball, everything that's on the playfield is very, now we're in the desert, we've been kicked out, and all that stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how that ties in, because you're in the city for a good first portion, and there's not a lot of representation of that on the playfield. So I was a little surprised. They could have had some way, because within the movie they show, there's that giant courtyard where there's a lot going on in it, like just or even some architecture, because the city part of it definitely has very distinct architecture, which is different once we get out into the desert. So that's the only thing of like just some sort of architecture maybe to better incorporate, because if that's going to be within the game, okay, this is kind of, now we're in the city state, and then the rest, and then as you go out into the pinball machine, that's out in the desert. So that's the only thing that because I honestly, Dennis, when I saw the layout, I was like, okay, I think this is going to be, all the game modes are going to be Paul and Jessica are in the desert doing their thing, and they're getting the Fremen and all that stuff. That's what it felt like. It didn't feel like they'd have anything from like Lido or whatever. And then everybody wants Baron in there, but I personally, I kind of like that they didn't put the Baron front and center of this, because it is Paul's story. So it's keeping it a little more grounded.
I'm excited. I don't like. I mean, I'm glad there isn't a human figure in it, because a human sculpt is hard to do
Always
well.
bad.
I think an ornithopter would have been cool, just because I think those are awesome. But somebody had mentioned Fade, right? Or Fey.
Fade.
That guy, that's the Austin Butler character in the second movie, is so awesome. What I'm really curious to see, Travis, is in the second movie when he's in that like Coliseum with the two knives.
Oh yeah.
That entire scene, that was filmed with an infrared camera.
That's amazing.
And that's why the shot is it's perfectly black and white. So I'm really curious. Coming soon, Travis, I'm very curious to see the lighting that you guys do during that mode. Because if it's, I feel like you got to go pure black and white in some way. I don't know. That scene is incredible. Tom, you got to watch the movies.
So Dennis, question. Sorry.
I had a question for Dennis, actually.
Ooh.
Oh.
So you did 2 cons for Kong.
Ooh, your nitpicks.
I want 2 cons for Dune.
Okay. Gotta go back and look at my imagery here. Of,
let's get some nitpicks going.
Yeah, gotta get
wait, let's chat. Let's get creative here. We need a play on words here of Dennis's nitpicks.
Does Dennis nitpick
Need like a
lot of
song.
things? Dennis.
I don't know if we need a song.
things.
Missing fetus.
Exactly.
Somebody
What
already
is happening?
Did I miss Kong?
So number one,
Yes. Okay.
the worm mech, the cool worm mech, too slow.
Yeah.
Oh, you want it
That's
to
gonna
come
be
out?
tedious. You're gonna have the same complaint that you get with Godzilla's building drop. It's too slow. People love it the first 5 times, and then it's gonna be like, well, I'm still waiting for the ball to ride up to the wire form. I guess I'll make a sandwich. So that's gonna be
Dennis's dings. Dennis's dings is pretty good. Dennis the Menace picks.
So that would be one. And
Too slow. Okay.
you know what? Too many worms on the playfield. There could have done like the ornithopter and stuff. I think there was room for some other aspects. A little too much worm.
Why are there? Because there's 2 worms.
Why too much worm?
That's
But that's too many worms. Yeah.
We got the main mech as a worm. We don't need more worms.
So your worms
should
there.
be a surprise. Remember that during the movie, you're not constantly seeing the worms. They're under the sand.
They're underneath.
Okay.
Sand.
So your view is
Too much worm and too slow worm.
Too slow. So you're saying right here, this worm, that worm sculpt is unneeded and should have been...
That's a perfect ornithopter spot.
That should have been ornithopter. All right.
Put a little top.
All right. Denny Downer. Din Dander. We got some pinball market dings. I don't know.
Yeah, because worms don't really travel in packs. Like, they're kind of independent creatures.
In the movie, somebody said in chat, in the movie you see 3 sandworms. Is that at the end?
Yes, but because they
don't
came
spoil
together within the Fremen.
You're ruining the movie.
The worms, Tom.
You can't ruin the movie, Tom. It's a masterpiece.
Ornithopter sculpt with wings held on by a wish and a prayer. That's an engineer. That's Travis. So that's the idea. Is the ornithopter? A worm is a lot harder to break than a very intricate. Held on by a wish and a prayer.
If one of the worms was a baby worm that was getting drowned.
Yeah.
I gotta find.
The larval worm.
The larva, and then drowning, and then a needle is being. There's a little needle coming in to insert.
We need like the veal version of the veal worm.
Tom, watch the movie.
All right.
I don't know how to get to your link without breaking all of our videos, but okay. This was fun. I'm excited. So I know Tom and I, we will both be playing Kong tomorrow. We will record Triple Drain. That's the goal, is to record a Triple Drain episode. So feel free to listen to that. Spoiler alert, Travis has already played it and he really freaking likes it. Like, kind of obnoxious.
Shocker.
He has been gushing all over it.
He's a brat.
He's a, oh, I think it's S tier. Oh, Travis. We are looking for a better third co-host.
Yeah, but doesn't he sell Stearns? So
Shill.
It's kind of true.
Yeah, we get called shills all the time.
Shill.
And what?
We're not actually selling.
We're not.
Speaking of which, if you want to buy Dune or
for flipping out.
Yeah, if you want to buy Dune,
I don't know what you're talking about, Dennis.
He doesn't just give away banners to Egypt for nothing. There's a return.
That's because Nicole is a sweet woman. Yes. Yes.
Do you think she literally puts stamps on those, or
no? She licks each one of them.
1, 2,
Egypt.
She's like, I need to find a 1 cent stamp. It's just over. I'm not using a 25 cent on this. We're using a 1 cent stamp.
This is why we're in the red. No, this is. I love Nicole. I think she's so bad, or I think she's so great.
Nicole's great.
I think Nicole is so great, and I just picture Zach after every stream, like very, like almost apologetic, like. Nicole, I gave away 2 more things. Here they are.
Sorry, idiot brother.
I do wonder if annually she produces.
You didn't want to give away.
Yeah, sorry.
She produces a financial report and shows it, and there's in red she shades the Zach giveaway expense line, and I have a feeling it's double-digit percentages. Yeah, and that he'll insist back that this is marketing.
It's marketing.
We're getting more sales because of it. And I think she's like, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure that this is actually paying for anything.
Have you seen the 2 idiots? Have you seen them?
We need a referral code so that people know that we're actually giving value, you know? Just mention us. How about that? We don't have a referral code. We do discuss the money spend. If anybody on chat, whether it's now or later on YouTube, happens to buy a game for
Kids can't have ice cream.
Please, for the sake of this stream, mention it. Just so Zach can show Nicole. See?
One person.
See?
One person.
All right. Well, this was fun. Travis, thanks so much for being in chat. Thanks for being a good sport. We're looking forward to playing your game. I'm excited. This is a theme, obviously, that, I know how excited you are.
It's the best.
It's going to be great. And we had a great time with Labyrinth, and I don't know. I can't wait for that direct audio to be pumped in our ears and have 200 people watch us brick shots for 2 hours. It's going to be great.
We're down to 2 themes that will be better than this.
That's the truth. Let's remind them once again, Dennis. It doesn't matter how great these games are because we're not supposed to buy them.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Don't be buying King Kong or Dune. Harry Potter's coming. You have to save your money. You were told about this back before these games were even revealed. That you have to save your money.
And they put it on
Don't
Facebook.
buy Avatar. You need to be saving your money.
Phase 3 coming. I can't wait
10 years of work. Millions of dollars, guys. Every movie, every audio clip. Every actor,
They got it
even
all.
the twin one that no one remembers, he's in it. All of them. The Basilisk, the Philosopher's Stone, and the other stone. That
I
they
hope
made
Dobby
on the nation.
Sounds like a jam-packed game.
I hope Dobby is the like the call outs. You know,
The LE version. I'm not saying, but the CE version might be coming with Dobby's sock.
I need Dobby to tell me what to do.
Do you give the sock to Dobby? Now Dobby is free? Is that what? Why do I know Harry Potter lore?
If there's
You're
not
gonna
some
geek out about Harry
kid
Potter.
Jared, it's Harry Potter and it's pinball.
understair-
Nothing is free.
Oh, good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tom, you didn't listen to anything that Jack told you to do, so you
I
can
never
plug first.
listen.
Tom, thank you so much for being here. Feel free to plug
thanks
away.
for having me.
Plug away.
Fox Cities Pinball. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube, all that good social media stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for staying up, man. I know this is late.
Yeah, I
appreciate
know. I'm excited about tomorrow, so
it. He's jonesing.
it helps.
Pack some Mountain Dew, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Let me touch the
Dennis, go ahead, man. Thanks for being here.
Hi, I'm Dennis. Thanks.
Hi, Dennis.
What's on your T-shirt? I'm very curious. Is it just a blue tee? Or
This is my Nordman shirt.
There it is.
Yes.
That's an awesome. Okay. Thank you,
What a
Dennis.
blast.
Thank you for
Nordman
thank you for
chooses
your
Dune
honesty.
because it has the most plastic.
Thank you for your honesty and thank you for your nitpicks. It's that's how we avoid being called shilds.
Did you hear the very tiny nitpicks about Dune? I'm just saying.
Speed up the worm, Travis. Travis, the worm's too slow. That's the.
I bet we clip a resistor on that thing and
it'll fly.
Wham!
Triple drain very soon.
Yeah.
Very soon.
Oh, yeah, we're
Christopher
recording tomorrow.
Tranchi.
Jared, thanks for being here. Thanks for bringing your book.
Yeah, this was weird.
This was weird.
But thankfully, we had two fine pinball gentlemen and you here. So it all worked out. And thank you for letting me.
I think you should do a book every stream.
Oh, just start reading it?
Jared's book
I
club.
should just be reading in the background while
Oh,
he
Lord.
plays. Thank you, Tom. I can get so much more done during stream.
Mom, I lost the worm again. It just flew out. Zoo, just flies up. Yeah. Okay. Well, the reality is we will probably be streaming King Kong and Dune in the near future.
At some point.
So tune in. If you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, leave a comment. What did we miss? What are you excited about? What are you not excited about? Do you have any nitpicks that we should have mentioned? Like, subscribe, all the things. We just recently passed 6,000, which was amazing. So thank you for that. Dennis is catching up, so we need that number to keep going. Watches with Dennis. Check out if you care about watch content. Check out Watches with Dennis.
I like watch.
none
stuff.
of them do.
I'll watch that.
Yeah, and I appreciate everybody who was here. This was a ton of fun, and next Wednesday we will be playing a pinball machine. I don't know what though, so. Tune in.
Space Hunt.
All right.
I want to play Space Hunt.
See you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.